Hi guys, we're 3 games down now, and for the past 3 weeks we've been playing Ladybug, released by Universal in 1981. Last week I put out a video highlighting that a number of people have been playing on easy, rather than the specified medium difficulty. I was also away last week, so made the decision to extend the game by a week so people had enough time to play on the correct settings. I also featured the ColecoVision port, which was pretty impressive. Regarding the arcade game, I did enjoy playing, although I found it somewhat frustrating, especially on the higher difficulty, as the game really ramps up after a few screens. Maybe it would have been more enjoyable sticking with easy. Either way, it was good to have this arcade classic from the golden age. Let's now take a look at the scores. I've had 15 scores sent to me, with many cancelling and then updating their scores once they realised they were using the wrong settings. For this game, 40,000 is a reasonable pass score. I'm in 10th with 43,000, with Bob and Alex just ahead. Juffa and Robert are both around 60,000, with Mark and Milthy around 66,000. Our top 3 all did very well. My Retro Tech has taken 3rd place with 74,000. Colin likes this game and used to play it back in the day. He's 2nd with 79,000. But the winner of Ladybug, being the only person to score over 100,000 points, is Graham 10 Shearers. He put in some even bigger scores on easy, but he's over 30,000 ahead of everyone else on medium. Great effort for that well-deserved win. Here is the distribution of the scores. After a weird one last time, we're back to something not a million miles away from a normal distribution. Our 3 bottom scores on the left are a little behind the pack, and then it's fairly close. At the top, we have this week's winner Graham in a bin on his own, showing it was a strong, but not one of the most dominant performances that we've seen. Now the difficulty curve. We can see a bit of a steep incline on the left, showing it's not too bad to get up to around 40,000. It's then pretty linear up to 2nd place, before a bit of a climb up to Graham's score. It's hard to know if the difficulty plateaus a little here, or if this is just a great performance from Graham. We'd need more people playing to know for sure. Finally, the progress over the 3 weeks. With 3 weeks of scoring, we have an extension of the x-axis, and we can see the relative lack of activity early on. This is due to many of our players having their scores scrubbed before coming back to the game, including Graham and Colin putting their first registered scores in at around day 10. This means it was actually Robert leading early on before being overtaken by Mark, Colin, Graham, and eventually My Retro Tech. Colin got the lead on day 10 before Graham took it back on day 11 and stayed there until the finish. So now we are 3 games down, we can take a look at the leaderboard. Milthy is up 4 with a good performance on this game, up into 11th. Colin is our biggest mover after his 2nd place, he's up to 8th. My Retro Tech is just ahead of him in 7th, up 3, and Mark is up 2 into 6th. Up at the top, Robert is up into 2nd place, getting ahead of me. But in 1st place, and significantly extending his lead with that win, is Graham. He's 80 points clear ahead of Robert in 2nd, so definitely looking like an early favourite. Now let's move on to the next game. I've had 14 games sent to me beginning with the letter M. There are a lot of great games beginning with M, including some of the selections here, but also a number of games I don't really know either. I'd be happy with my choice of Monkey Ball, but I've had 3 games I like so far this season, so I'm expecting not to continue being lucky. So after 3 weeks of Ladybug, let's set things going and see what we get. Okay, slowing down. It's gone past Graham's choice. Oh, okay, so I think it's Marchen Maze. I have no idea what that game is. I mean, Maze suggests it may be a maze game. I'm going to go look it up, make a video, and be back in a sec. So our next game is Marchen Maze, released by Namco in 1988. I'd said I'd never heard of it, and the reason being is they only saw a release in Japan. It's an isometric platform game, whereby you need to get to the end of each level, trying to avoid being knocked off by the enemies. That's the only way you lose lives. You have the ability to jump and to fire bubbles in each direction, giving the game aspects of a run and gun, but it's much more like a platform game. A few plays and it seems alright. Given the levels are the same each time, there are aspects of a puzzle game too, working out how to get past each section. I can see myself enjoying this one, but will no doubt piss others off too. We'll be using the standard Japanese ROM, which is mmaze.zip, with default settings. For our next game, please send me suggestions beginning with the letter N. There are some decent options, with many ninja-based games, a few Neo Geo games, and a few other arcade classics, such as New Rally X. So I hope you enjoyed playing some Marchen Maze, which I'm guessing will be new to many of you, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks with the next game. See you then.